question. What if?
And that's what me and Stanford are going to do today. So,
Yes.
Welcome everyone to a live animation fascination. I'm Mark Fibbert. He is Stanford Clark. And welcome to. So we're going to try. Some of us might not be on all of these, but we're going to try some short form what if kind of reviews over like this next week, just because of how Disney Plus is dropping these 9 episodes like over the holiday week. So the first one that came out is, or was rather, the what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps. And getting into it like straight off the bat, what did you think of this first episode of season 2, Stanford?
So, Mark, I thought it was cool. I think these are so much fun, and they're kind of mind-blowing in a way, but also I'm mostly just impressed with just how clever they are,
Yeah.
and I love seeing these characters in kind of a different setting or have some kind of a different role or perspective. So, thumbs up for me. I think season 2 is off to a strong start. What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it too. And so the basic premise of this one is basically in a world where Ronan deposes of Thanos long before the events of Infinity War, Nebula is recruited to join the Nova Corps. Desperate to escape her father's shadow, she sets out to prove her detective chops. This episode's more or less kind of like a film noir.
Yes,
kind of vibe to it.
Absolutely, a film noir vibe. Yeah,
it's very, 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 very much influenced by Blade Runner.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We were texting a little bit. That I love that shot you sent me. It looks straight out of Blade Runner.
Yeah, some of the stuff in here is just like straight like visual cues from that film. So it was really cool to see how they worked that into it, and like some of the players that we got in this episode besides Nebula. So we had Nebula in there with Karen Gillan doing her voice, which was cool.
Which is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Howard the Duck showed up again.
I love when Howard the Duck shows up.
With Seth Green. Groot, I don't know, Vin Diesel.
No, it was another voice. Okay. I looked it up. Fred Tatasciore. I'm probably butchering his name. Sorry, Fred. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's not Vin Diesel.
Then we had Korg, which was Taika Waititi. And we had Meek in there too, which the joke I liked in there too with like Groot, Korg, and Meek working for Howard the Duck was they were called rock, paper, scissors because Groot would be paper, Meek is scissors, and then Korg is obviously rock. Yeah. Although I liked how I guess spoilers for the episode, but like when Korg's like, oh, paper, but it is invincible paper that cannot be cut because it is made of rock. So, yeah, I love just like these like tiny like little jokes and like asides in there too.
I do too, and I'm so glad they got Taika Waititi to voice, for the voice. So great.
We had Nova Prime in here too, which was not voiced by Glenn Close.
No, Julianne Grossman.
Yeah, she did a pretty good job. I liked her.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Ronan the Accuser showed up in this again. Didn't talk, so Liam Pace didn't have to do it. Garth and Saul, which I'm pretty sure was Peter Serafinowicz' character from the films, but I want to say...
And it was Peter Serafinowicz.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yep.
It did. Because I was going to say it sounded like Darth Maul, but that would be correct because that would be one of the many voices of Darth Maul.
Yep.
And he also wasn't yelling at Nick Frost to make sure that he shut the door. And then we had Yon-Rogg in here. So Drew Law came in and did his voice of Yon-Rogg from characters people may remember from Captain Marvel.
So
that was cool to see.
Again, super cool. Yeah.
And like with these episodes too, I'm always like trying to figure out like, all right, I know it's a different universe, but like, what were the string of events that like had, because this would obviously, so this would have been like what, 2014, because it's supposed to be, or I don't know, they say long before, but I'm assuming it's supposed to be somewhere around 2014 because that's like when Ronan and Thanos kind of had like their whole deal going on.
Yeah.
And Yanrog had his thing with Captain Marvel back in the 90s. And well, I mean, he doesn't die too in that movie.
Yeah,
So
he doesn't die in that movie. So
technically in the MCU is just kind of like somewhere out there, I guess.
Wherever she sent him. Yeah.
Yeah. Or he's supposed to be on Xandar.
Right.
Which, or if he was on Xandar within the actual MCU, we know that Xandar got more or less decimated by the Power Stone when Thanos went there in well, off screen in Infinity War. But outside of that, we watch her just voice only in this one with Jeffrey Wright, and then yes, there's a lot of first appearances in the season, and then also dying in this episode too. So like Drax was in this episode too. Definitely not Dave Bautista, because I mean it was like a 2-second like basically making like grunts, so they're not gonna have him come in for that. Yondu was in this.
Yeah, with Michael Rooker still
dying again. I was kind of one.
Yeah.
And when she went to go get Yanrog out of the prison there on Xandar.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, when they showed the screen for that, I thought it was going to be that it was Peter.
Oh.
So, thanks Geek the F out for joining us. But yeah, because like that small little shot they showed of the screen, I was like, oh, is she like recruiting Peter, and they're going to kind of do something like with that in it. But that was interesting to see the team up of those two, Yanrog and her. Was there anything that like kind of specifically stood out to you in the episode of outside of like like what we were saying, like the cyberpunk vibes?
Other than just like the film noir of it, and then just kind of being stoked that Howard the Duck showed up. I just what I've already said. I just think I love all these different characters that that they bring in. Like I thought again, super cool that Yanrog was there, and anyway, and I really like these different interpretations of Nebula. I think that's really interesting. Like I know in season 1, like in that episode that she's in with when T'Challa is the one who
T'Challa's the Star-Lord.
He's Star-Lord. I really liked the Nebula in that episode, with Thanos and all that. But anyway, so I really had a blast. What about for you, Mark?
Yeah, the other thing I kind of liked in there with her too is that she did like the triple kind of like cross in it too, where like she kind of figured that like all that was going to go down, so she had a backup for the backup, and then like by the end in that episode that she's wearing Yondu's fin. She basically like looks like Yondu because she got like the Yondu jacket on.
Exactly. She just looks like like female just with Yondu.
The Nova Corps logo, like our emblem going on there too.
Yeah.
But one of the things I was wondering though is just like where John C. Reilly's character was, because we had more the rest of them in there, but I guess in this version or this universe he either didn't exist or something happened to him.
Yeah. They didn't want to write him in or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, so one of the things I liked in here too was like in this episode, like we already kind of said with like Groot, Korg, and Meek, but I liked kind of had like a heist vibe to it too. So like usually
good point.
with the MCU movies, we've gotten that with like the Ant-Man films, or at least the first two Ant-Man movies, and then like even like Endgame is kind of like a time heist movie. So like this one with the team up of like Nebula and then Howard and Groot and Meek and Korg there at the end too, with like joining up to do that heist. I thought that was like a cool spin on that. I'm kind of hoping that like maybe eventually we get more like Howard the Duck in the live action movies too. Like I know he's kind of been like spritzed in there a little bit, like in the Guardians films, but like every time like Seth Green shows up as Howard. So I think now he's had more screen time, obviously, and more dialogue like within like the What If series than he's had like within like the live action MCU.
Yes, but I agree. I think he would be an outstanding addition, and I would really hope Seth Green is his voice. If he does get introduced into the live actions content.
Yeah. Now, in this episode too, like what did you think of that whole idea of the shield that it's essentially like what Tony had the idea for, is like a suit of armor to put around the planet. Age of Ultron, where they essentially do that, and then you kind of see like how like the civilization like kind of more or less like descends because they're all isolated there.
Right. I thought it was a really cool idea that they brought in to show what happens, when that sort of concept is implemented, and it's not good, right?
Yeah, and then like even that like with Nova Prime, who's the one that like sets it up, ends up being the one that wants to like wait, maybe this was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I don't like, and then so like last year with season 1, we kind of saw like, we originally thought like each of these were going to be like, like their own separate like anthology episodes. Now, if you had any theories how you think this may like fit into the overall story of like what happens through like this second season of it, how do you think that'll ultimately kind of
Mark, that is such a good question, because I've been wondering that too, if there's going to be more continuity or if it's just each one is going to be its own thing, because just looking at the different titles, I mean, truly, to answer your question, I don't have a screaming clue. I wouldn't even know where to begin, because so many of these are in a way just kind of random. Like, oh wow, look what they're doing with this one. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that there's going to be some kind of a thread, a common thread, or I don't know what you call it?
I know there wasn't like like a full on thread in the first season, like other than they kind of tried to like tie it up by the end of that season. But like, so I know in this season that Captain Carter is meant to show back up, and it's our.
So I was wondering about Captain Carter. I was glad you brought that up, because it seems to me that maybe Captain Carter's going to be, kind of a through line.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be the same one from season 1, not the one that got bisected in Multiverse of Madness. So this episode was what if Nebula joined the I keep wanting to say the Peace Corps, the Nova Corps.
The Nova Corps.
And then tomorrow's is going to be what if Peter Quill attacked
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes in the 80s, basically. And then the third one is what if Happy Hogan saved Christmas, which is going to air on Christmas Eve.
Which I love. I think that's so cool. I can't wait.
The one after that is what if Iron Man crashed into the Grandmaster. And that's airing on Christmas Day. This was the one that was produced for season 1, and you even see that Tony and Gamora show up in the end of season 1, like when he's like, no, not you, Stark, like in that finale of that. So this one should be interesting to see if they had to like rejigger it at all to like fit to like in the narrative of this one.
Yeah.
But that should be interesting. That's basically if you made the events of Thor Ragnarok, but it's Iron Man. And, yeah. And then the one after that is what if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I guess I'm looking forward to all of them, but that one sounds so interesting.
Oh, yeah, because that'll essentially be like her Winter Soldier episode,
Yes,
essentially,
exactly.
and it's Steve as the Hydra Stomper as the Winter Soldier, like that whole. The next one after that is what if Kiori reshaped the world, and then this is the one that's got like the new character that they're introducing, where like the kind of Tesseract finds its way to like Native Americans, like, and she's like is one of the first people with powers at that point. So, and it seems like she's going to be might be in a few episodes, just like from some of the trailers we got. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that character too. And then the one after that is what if Hela found the 10 rings. That one should be pretty interesting too, to see kind of Hela interacting with Shang-Chi's dad, and see how that all plays out, because that's also supposed to be like Odin against like the 10 rings in that too. So that should be like a whole kind of cool thing.
It'd be cool.
The one I'm kind of looking forward to the most too is the what if the Avengers assembled in 1602.
1602. I know. I'm really stoked for that one.
That's the one that's based off I believe it was Neil Gaiman that wrote the 1602 comics. But that one that one I'm not sure if it's gonna be like characters like are in 1602 or if it's like present day kind of like Avengers. Okay. Is like the one where like they got, I don't know, like somehow they got pulled back to 1602. But I know like in that, like Wanda is essentially like the Merlin figure in there. And it seems like Steve Rogers is in there, but that could also be Captain Britain too. It just looks like Infinity War era Captain America, just because of like his whole beard and vibe going on there. And then the last one and the finale for this season is what if Strange Supreme intervened. So that one sounds like it could be interesting too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I'm assuming that's Strange Supreme from this first season of What If.
Yes. Same.
Yeah. So I'm curious. We've seen from some of the trailers like how like some of these characters are in multiple episodes, because it seems like Captain Carter's in that 1602 episode too.
Okay.
So I'm just very, because now that we know from last year like that some of them are gonna coalesce into some kind of finale event there at the end. That's what I am gonna be excited to see. But yeah, I think outside of the 1602 one, I'm probably just looking forward to the finale one the most, just because I want to kind of see like how they do all that and bring everything together. Although I am looking forward to that Peter Quill one next week, or not. I'm used to the week after.
Like we have to wait a week, but no, we just have to wait a day.
Yeah,
so tomorrow.
The one tomorrow.
Yeah.
With that, because to see like the 80s versions of the Avengers, like with I forget what her name is, but like Carol's like mentor from Annette Bening from
the Annette Bening character.
Like she's essentially she is the Captain Marvel in that one, and then you have T'Chaka as Black Panther, Hank Pym as Ant-Man in there. I think Janet's in that as the Wasp too.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Or maybe no, because that would be after she already got lost. I think. I don't remember. And then I believe, and then that one's also going to have the Winter Bucky in there as the Winter Soldier too. So that should be interesting to see how that all coalesces. Yeah. So with these episodes like this, we're going to kind of keep them basically this brief to like 20 minutes. It's kind of like little snippets, kind of not be longer than the episodes of What If that you watched. So those are kind of like our initial live thoughts off the dome. I think we both like just finished it maybe like in the past like hour or two. So
these are
like fresh stream
just
of
a few
consciousness.
Minutes. Just got online.
So going to try to keep doing these. You maybe see different people popping in and out over like the next 9 of these too. We'll try to do them live if we can too, and give a little bit more notice than this one that I posted, and then it started 5 minutes later after that. So we thank everyone for watching this too, and then you can find Animation Fascination at Animation Fascination. Yeah, you know, for our podcast, I picked such an awesomely tongue twister name of Animation Fascination. So you can find animationfascination.net. You can find all the episodes there, and then once all of these are out too, we're gonna edit this like into just like one long audio episode too, that you'll eventually be able to find on the website too. And then, so I'm Mark Ribbert. So for myself, Stanford Clark, we wish you guys happy holidays. And we thank Geek the F Out for joining us tonight. So, and with that, we bid you all adieu and bye-bye.